To our professor, Sir Arturo Petricosa, and to my fellow classmates, good morning. Today, I will discuss the Chapter 11, which is Internationalization of Financial Markets. As for the introduction, the flow of money around the world is essential for business to operate and grow. Without the global financial markets, governments would not be able to borrow money, companies would not have access to the capital they need to expand, and investors and individuals would be unable to buy and sell foreign currencies. Now, let us discuss what is internationalization of financial markets. It refers to the process where financial markets become increasingly interconnected, influencing and being influenced by global events and decisions. It also the process through which financial systems start to function seamlessly beyond their home country borders. Financial market is the meeting place of investors, institutions, and corporations which the sector that have a surplus of funds tends to lend, and the sector that have a shortage of funds borrows. It says na interconnected, it's because globally na, and it gives opportunities to experience and collaborate with other countries, and it also being influenced by global events such as whether it has a inflation or taas yung currency ng isang bansa. We have the financial markets around the world. The first one is in New York in United States. They have the New York Stock Exchange, which is the largest in the world. They have the market capitalization. The market value of its outstanding shares is 14.14 trillion, followed by the NASDAQ, which is also based in the New York, which has the market capitalization of 5.63 trillion. The next one is in Toronto, Canada. The Toronto Stock Exchange or TSE in Canada is run by the TMX Group, which has 1.45 trillion market capitalization. Next is in Toronto, Japan. The Japan Exchange Group or JPX, based in Tokyo, is the largest exchange in Asia, which has a market capitalization of 3.73 trillion. Next is in China. China has three stock exchanges. The first one is the Shanghai Stock Exchange or the SSE, which has a market capitalization of 2.9 trillion. Next one is the Shenzhen Stock Exchange, which has a 2.36 trillion market capitalization. In London, UK, the London Stock Exchange or LSE is the Europe's largest stock exchange. It has a market capitalization of 2.68 trillion. Next is the European Union. Euronext has headquarters in Amsterdam, Brussels, Lisbon, London, and Paris, which has a 2.56 trillion market capitalization. And the last is in Frankfurt, Germany. Deutsche Börse is based on Frankfurt FWB, which has a market capitalization of 1.24 trillion. Now, let's define what is world stock markets. World stock markets refers to the collective set of markets and exchanges where securities such as stocks, bonds, derivatives, and etc. are bought and sold globally. Active trading in financial instruments was confined to a small number of countries and involved mainly the same types of securities, bonds, and equities that had dominated trading for two countries. The internationalization of financial markets is also leading the way to a more integrated world economy in which flows of goods and technology between countries are more commonplace. Tumutukoy sa kolektibong hanay ng mga pamilihan at palitan kung saan ang mga seguridad, mga stock, bonds or derivatives ay binibili at binibenta sa buong mundo. Ang internasyonal na pag-unlad ng mga pamilihan sa pananalipi ay nagbubukas din ng daan tungo sa mas pinagsamang pandaigdigang ekonomiya kung saan ang daloy ng mga kalakal at teknolohiya sa pagitan ng mga bansa ay mas karaniwan. Now, what is the size of the markets? It is different to estimate the overall size of the financial markets. It is hard in the first place to decide exactly what transactions should be included under the rubric financial markets. The size of the global stock markets can be measured in several ways, but the most common method is through the market capitalization of the world's stock exchanges. Mahirap sa simula pa lang ang magpasya kung aling transaksyon ang dapat isama sa ilalim ng rubrik na pamilihan ng pananalapi. It also reflects the global flow of capital. Market capitalization refers to the total value of all publicly traded companies listed on those exchanges. It is also calculated by multiplying the current stock price by the total number of shares in circulation for each company, and then summing that value for all companies listed. Cross-border measure. Another way of measuring the growth of finance is to examine the value of cross-border financing. It refers to the policies, strategies, and actions taken to address and manage economic, financial, and regulatory activities. Regulatory activities that occur across national borders. Cross-border financing is the process of obtaining funds from outside the country's border to facilitate international trade and investment. Cross-border measure, it involves regulations, agreements, or framework designed to ensure smooth operations, reduce risk, and promote collaboration between countries. The international bond market, Eurobonds, and Euro currencies. Foreign bonds are sold in a foreign country and are denominated in that country's currency. It has been an important instrument in the international capital market for centuries. Example, if the German automaker of Porsche sells a bond in the United States denominated in US dollars, it is classified as a foreign bonds. Issuance of international bonds was relatively flat in the years following 2018, as non-financial companies increased their bond issuance even while banks reduced their outstanding bond indebtedness. Factors affecting the long-run trends of increased financial market activity. Lower inflation. Inflation erodes the value of financial assets and increases the value of physical assets such as houses and machines, which will cost far more to replace than they are worth today. Lower and stable inflation makes the economic environment more predictable. Investors and businesses feel more confident planning for the future, which encourages more investment and trading in financial markets. Next is pensions. Changes in demography and working patterns have made pay-as-you-go scheme increasingly costly to support, as there are fewer young workers relative to the number of pensioners. To meet their future obligations, pension diversified investment across many markets and asset types, increasing activity various financial sectors. Stock and bond market performance. A rapid increase in financial wealth feeds itself. Investors whose portfolios have appreciated are willing to reinvest some of their profits in the financial markets. When stocks and bonds perform well over time, investors feel more confident that they will earn good returns. This encourages more people to invest, increasing buying and selling in the market. Risk management. To an extent previously unimaginable, firms and investors could choose which risk they wish to bear and use financial alternatively to take on additional risk is the expectation of earning higher returns. Proper risk management helps prevent big crashes or shocks, which builds trust and supports steady growth in financial market activity over time. The last one is the investors. The driving force behind financial markets is the desire of investors to earn a return on their assets. The more investors there are, whether individuals, pension funds, or institutions, the more buying and selling happens, increasing market activity and liquidity. And that will be all. Thank you.